G'day people. Remember last episode we made this cute little truck from Ashley's workshop, plan number 510. This week we're going to do the dolly and the trailer that go with it. But before we start, the thing with Peter Ashley's plans, they don't need a lot of equipment. Even though I've got it, in fact I'm pretty well equipped because when I retired about 4 years ago I decided to make things easy on myself. But Peter's plans can be made with the fairly basic tools, and I thought I'd give it a go initially at just using the basic hand tools to kick this plan off. I've slowed this down just to show you the setup here. It's just a scrap bit of MDF panel as a bench, a stop block clamp to the surface, a bench hook, and I'm just waxing down the saw here just to make it free of movement through the slot you can see in the bench hook there. The bench hook is also movable, and to make a cut I actually clamp it down at the right distance. So I measure out the distance for the base and the two sides. There's 3 pieces needed here, and cut out the first of them. Now come back and do 2 more, and because both the bench hook and the block are clamped, these turn out exactly the same distance, no further work required. So using the measurements from the plans, I cut out the rest of the pieces required, and where there's little short pieces I just mark them off with a marking knife the correct length, and you can line up the marking knife mark with the saw mark on the bench hook, so it makes it very, very easy. Here's the axles coming out, pretty quick time, and then I take the template off the plans, and rather than stick it down I just lay it there because it's quite a simple one, mark the relevant points, and I then use just a ruler and a pencil to draw the lines in. I just need a little bit of a freehand curve on the end of it to make it look okay. Now I use my portable vise here to drill the hole in the end of the dolly. It's easier to do it now than afterwards when you're doing other things on it, and it's not quite the same shape. Now I put it back in the vise, and I'm just using a small block plane. I mean, you can use any plane you like here, really. It's the easiest way to get it down to the line that's been marked. And then I need to make the turntable for the top of the dolly, so I just use a circle stencil. You could use a compass, you can use anything you like, something that's round. Yeah, I just cleaned up some of the daggy bits off here, this with the bandsaw, and then I just moved across to my disc sander and run it down to the line. Or alternatively, you simply take it across to the drill press with a hole saw and cut it out that way. Now don't forget all the edges need to be trimmed up here or smoothed out. This is the lazy man's way of doing it. And now I've got the dolly axle housing here that needs to have a hole drilled in it. Again, easier to do now than afterwards when I need to put a couple of bevels on it. And here, just using the using the disc sander to put a couple of bevels. Also succeed in putting a couple of bevels on the fingernails there. And time for glue up. Now you might notice here I actually made a little mistake. I used a 12mm piece for the body of the dolly instead of a 6, so once I had done all this I came back later on and had to trim it back down again. It doesn't matter that the turntable sticks over the edges a bit, you can sand that down, and as per video 1 the glue up of the box is exactly the same, just using a spacer there and a cam clamp for a bit of pressure until the glue dried enough to do work with it. Now here I drilled a hole for the front peg in the trailer straight through. You could alternatively just drill part of the way through, and into that goes the peg. Just need to bring it through till it's flush, straighten her up, clean her up. Now because Peter Ashley's plans use dimensional timber straight off the shelf, there need to be a little 3mm spacer underneath the axle housing for the trailer. Square it up, and then a 6mm piece goes in front of that. Just eyeballed it here just to make sure everything was lined up and straight, and let that dry. Now it's time to clean all the dust off after a bit of light sanding, and it'd help if I put it in the camera. And this time I added some water-based poly. I find it very easy to use. And that was the job done. And every self-respecting road train should have at least 2 trailers.